Good morning. It is 7:30 on the dot on this Thursday, December 14th, 2023. Thanks for joining us for Breakfast with Bridgett here on News 6 Plus and clickorlando.com. I'm your host, Bridgett Ellison, and it is a very special day here at News 6, one that we really look forward to every year because it is a day filled with joy and love, and the spirit of giving. Is Distribution Day for the Salvation Army's Angel Tree program, which so many of you help make possible every year. So thousands of families will have very great gifts this season thanks to the generosity of our viewers and our neighbors across Central Florida. Meteorologist Candace Campos is here with me this morning, and it's been a good start to the day, but it's windy again today, and we're on that countdown to sort of a rough weekend weather-wise.
Yeah, we are going to be dealing with a lot of wind today. The winds will be picking up out of the east northeast up to about 20 to 25 miles per hour. I'll get stronger throughout the day, gusting upwards about 35. And then we'll go from not only being windy, but windy and very wet as we head into your Saturday. Now, rain chances for today, about 20%. So we can't rule out the chance of a few fast-moving showers, but overall, the big story is going to be where that low is going to go for the weekend and how strong to severe the weather could get. So let's take it to the maps, Bridgett, give you an idea of what's going on. So it's going to be broken down into two parts. The wind today and tomorrow, that's going to be the big story, as temperatures are not the big deal, as we are going to stay pretty consistent with highs and lows. And then as we head into your weekend, strong storms, widespread rain. So here's for an example, Port Canaveral right now. Look at those palm fronds there, that palm tree blowing in the wind. The winds right now out of the east-northeast at about 22 miles per hour. Now, along the coastline, you can see our winds up to about 11 to 23 miles per hour. Further inland, it's not as strong, but this is the time of the day where the winds are not at their peaks. Now, it will continue to increase throughout the afternoon. So this is one of our forecast models that show those 30s for a nice stretch of your Thursday, 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts along the coast. But even further inland, we pick up a 20 to 25-mile-per-hour wind gust, certainly. And then that's going to be the same story as we head even into your Friday. But then after that, we will start to change it into more of a rain and storm concern for your Saturday. So moral of the story, it is not the day to be out on the beach or on the boat. We do have a coastal flood warning that is impacting inland areas, or I should say on land areas, as a high tide, which was just about another hour or so. With those crazy breaking waves, we'll have that potential of bringing in some of that ocean water further inland. Speaking of inland, on land, we do have a wind advisory for coastal Flagler, coastal Volusia, and all of Brevard County until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, as we could get those wind gusts upwards about 45. But this is what everyone's talking about because we have so much going on across Central Florida. You know, you talk about just 2 weekends out from Christmas. There's all these holiday parties, festivities, events. We have the Cure Bowl on Saturday too, and unfortunately, it looks like this is going to be causing some big-time issues for anyone who's planning on any outdoor plans. Primarily on Saturday. Sunday, we'll still keep that chance to rain in the forecast, but it looks like conditions will improve by Sunday into Monday. So this is one of our models. This is the American model that's showing that band of rain rolling in by about the lunchtime hour. And it's all associated with an area of low pressure that will kind of develop a front along with it. And as you can continue to see throughout 6, 7 o'clock Saturday afternoon and into the evening, widespread rain, heavy amounts of rain, latest model runs showing up to about 2 to 4 inches potentially in a big swath of Central Florida. So that again is going to be Saturday. We are terming it a weather impact day to making sure that you are staying weather aware. A lot of us like to kind of let our guards down when it comes to weather in December. But unfortunately, with an El Nino global pattern that we have, the potential of seeing strong storms during the winter is likely, and we're going to be seeing that on Saturday. So for today and tomorrow, rain chances at 20%. You saw all those temperatures staying consistent in the mid to low 70s. But once that front clears, colder, drier air will filter in on the backside of that low, and the temperatures come Monday and Tuesday will be dropping off in about 10 degrees between the weekend and early next week, back into the mid 60s. But staying weather aware, making sure that if you have a lot of the holiday decorations out, making sure you have them secured to the ground or have them maybe bring them inside. I don't
Right.
have any inflatables, but I do have my poinsettias that were tossing around a little bit yesterday. So
Those poor poinsettias, they are just challenged right now because, we had those
they are.
colder temperatures a while back. So they're going through it. And,
I know,
and
but
there's always like that imbalance, like one's doing well, one's not looking so great,
why is that always the case? Why is
I
that always the
know.
case?
I know.
But yeah, I mean, that's going to be the kind of the concern today and tomorrow. And then just Saturday, we know, like we said, we have the
Right.
Cure Bowl, we have a bunch of activities. I mean, what person does not have something planned
Yeah.
Saturday or Sunday? There's
You
always
know,
something going on.
right.
And
You
a
got
lot
to
of
get,
people like to do those holiday parties outside because
yeah.
hey, it's December. This is
You got to
finally
get
the
the
time
oil
of the year
changed
we
on the
can.
sleigh.
Oh yeah, got a lot of stuff. I mean, Santa's dealing with his own, craziness, but here in Central Florida, we're dealing with the Joy Center later on today. So I know
Yes.
you'll
Oh,
be
and
talking to Ezzy more about that.
yeah, and thank goodness the weather is good just to get through this day because I mean
Oh
that's a
yeah.
lot of, carrying things in and out and getting them into these vehicles all day. So
Yeah.
at least they have good weather because there have been years where we've had some not so nice weather on distribution day. So
Oh
that is
yeah,
good.
we've had that before where we're dealing with lightning. So we had our crews out there yesterday setting up, making sure all the talent can be out there and everyone has their microphones and all that fun stuff. And they told me like, so no rain, right? I'm like, spotty shower here and there, but the wind. So make sure you have their little sandbags holding down their
Oh
light
yeah, the
stands
crew
and all that
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Ethan wanted to put the inflatables out. He was really getting on me yesterday about how he likes the lights. He thinks I did a good job with the lights, but he's like,
Good
"Mom,
job. Good job.
he's like, "Mom, I want the inflatables like in the outside because we keep them inside. They're small
The
inflatables.
little ones, yeah.
But we have 3 of them, and so I don't want to put them out. And I tried to explain to him about the weather, like you told us that it
Yes.
was, yesterday was too windy, today is too windy, this weekend's
Mm-hmm.
rainy. So it's like, if you have those inflatables, maybe just put some extra stakes down or just take them down,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. By Sunday afternoon, Monday, you should be good to go. You
Okay.
should be good to go.
So maybe I can oblige him after we get through the weather.
Tell Ethan that your personal meteorologist says to hold off until Sunday.
I will. I will. He knows you. He knows you. I'll say, Candace said.
Such
Okay.
a cutie. I love him so much.
All right, Candace. Well, thank you. And I'm
You're
going to go
welcome.
check in with the Joy Center now. I'll see you a
Ooh,
little bit later.
exciting.
Yes. And so, like we mentioned, it is distribution day for the Angel Tree program. Thousands of gifts are being given out today, thanks to the generosity of all of our neighbors. And our Ezzy Castro is out there at the Joy Center. We're going to get to her live in just a minute, but we want to take a look behind the scenes at what goes into this big day for thousands of local families. And here is a little bit of what's happening there.
Over the last month, we have seen all the hard work.
We're all struggling, and now more than ever, we need to be able to tell people there's hope.
From a major food drive to spreading the word about what the Angel Tree program is all about.
We start Christmas preparations in June, even with New 6.
In November, New 6 and the Salvation Army kicked off the program with a big Christmas tree and volunteers at Mall at Millenia. Then, we met some of the recipients who are getting help from the program for the very first time. From there, we worked even harder to get results for thousands of kids and seniors by raising over $239,000 to make sure no one is left behind this Christmas. And that's all thanks to you. Over the last
That's right. It's all thanks to you, like Ezzy said. And so everything is organized and ready to go this morning. They are getting the final finishing touches done. They've been out there since very early. There's our Ezzy Castro. She is out there. And Ezzy, this is just one of those days where you're just in your element, and it's just such happy news to be able to report on, right?
The inside joke is that the Salvation Army is my second home
Yes.
during this time of year.
Check the earrings. Show everyone the earrings.
Yeah. Hold on. Here we go. Can you see this one right here?
Yes, I love those. Tell Captain
Aren't these
Chapman I want
fabulous?
these too.
I'll let him know. Yeah,
Okay.
he came last week, and you were on vacation, but
Yeah.
he did come in and gave those earrings away in the newsroom. But by the way, welcome back. It's good to see
Oh,
you.
you too, Ez.
Yeah. So, okay, so I'm actually sitting on the anchor desk that we have here for our new 6 anchors.
It's a
That's the
whole
behind the
setup
scenes look. Look at this setup. They literally brought the studio to a warehouse.
because we're
That's
doing the whole
incredible, the
show
work that
there,
goes down.
basically.
All day, all day. But I'm going to walk around. Let's do this. So, let's give you guys a bit of information about what goes on. So, distribution day, if you're watching, it's a big day for the Salvation Army because today is when thousands of families come here and they pick up Christmas gifts for their kids. And so this is what we say, we're the Santas for those kids, for those families. And a lot of these families struggle. Here you look, the real work is happening right now. You got Captain Jessie Chapman. She is amazing, by the way. This is her baby.
Yeah.
And she, by the Bridgett, she has a boot on because she messed up her ankle a couple of months ago. And I kid you not, she is like walking, running, like, I don't know how she does it, but she's just simply
I know. And
amazing.
it's funny how we call the recipients the angels, but I think the angels are actually all the people who give so much to make this possible. I really do.
Yeah. I know there are a lot of angels out here, I'll tell you that, but I'm going to turn around. And if you were watching News 6 Mornings, look at this.
Ugh. I mean.
And this is work. It doesn't take a day or two. This is weeks and weeks. And we start in the summer. Salvation Army actually starts doing this in the summer when they start handing out the applications to these families. So a lot of people
and there's
think,
just been a lot
December,
of increased need, too.
Absolutely. I know inflation was a big deal this year. And a lot of the families that I spoke to told us, yeah, that's what hit us hard this year was inflation. So we need help.
And I know people were writing in asking for help even after, that window had closed to, sign up for this. So, the Salvation Army helps people all year long, so it's like if you didn't get in on this, there's, always the chance next year, but they're offering resources year round. I mean, it's more than just the angels and the kettles. And so, even if people didn't get a chance to give for this, there's still time to give and help support all of the things they do year round.
Right. And I mean, look, it's not just about donating and adopting the angels. We're also raising money. We did the phone bank last month for Giving Tuesday. And so people ask, well, why do they need more money if people are adopting? Well, there's people that do adopt, but then they never get to buy the gifts, so they don't return the tags. Things happen, right?
Right.
And things happen all the time. And those are considered forgotten angels. So we grab the money that we raised for the fund from the phone bank, and we go out and we shop for those forgotten angels. And it's not just one or two. We're talking about this happens with hundreds of angels. We got to make sure nobody's left behind, like I said in my piece, because this is, again, we're the Santas.
Show
Working
us
hard
those
to make
bikes,
sure that
Ezzy.
these kids...
Wow.
Oh,
you tickled me when you honked the horn earlier.
Oh, did you?
Where was that horn?
I did that twice this week.
That surprised me. Oh my gosh, so cute. But there's and this is for all ages too, because it's kids, so many kids that, might not have a Christmas or, a nice holiday without this. And then you also have 1,000 seniors as well who, maybe they don't have a lot of relatives to support them. Uh-oh. Ezzy. Okay, we're gonna get Ezzy. It's just frozen. Maybe she can just move to another side of the. I hear you. There you are.
You got me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, that was like a freeze frame.
Technology.
Happy freeze frame. Hi, Debbie. Yeah. Debbie's one of the angels here.
Hi, Debbie.
So speaking of angels, the seniors. Speaking of the seniors,
right
behind me. That's some of their stuff right there. Pillows, blankets. Those ovens, those little ovens.
Yeah,
where
they
just
love
pop something
those.
in.
The toaster oven is the bike of the senior angels, right? Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And you got this one has a crock pot right there.
Oh, yes.
We got
Very
some
nice.
shoes for the seniors. We know that they need their shoes. We can't forget about the seniors, but they're actually getting their gifts next week. They're doing that Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be another part 2 to the story of Angel Tree. We got the ladies of Salvation Army. Say hi.
Hi, ladies. Good morning.
Live with Breakfast with Bridgett.
Thank you for all you're doing.
The work is getting done.
Yes, it
Work is
is. So
underway,
what time
Bridget.
do they give out? Do the giveaways start? What time does the distribution start?
So I think it's going to start at 9. That's what I was
Okay.
told. But we do start seeing those
Until,
families line up.
mhm,
It's
yeah.
all day until like nighttime, because a lot of these families, what
Hmm.
they do is they give them a time slot of when they can come.
Okay. Okay. That keeps it
Like
from
a
getting
group
backed
of,
up. Yeah.
right, like a group of 100, the first 100 families will come at 9. Group B will come at 10. That's how they do it. They got to stay organized, because we're talking about 5,000 families. That's a lot of people.
It sure is. Well, I can't wait to see more stories. I love that profile with the young lady who you featured yesterday, who was able to benefit as a
Yeah,
kid, and now she's giving back and it just paying it forward full circle.
she really is. Bianca Ortiz, if she's
Hmm.
watching, she's only 18, but she said
Wow.
from age 6 to 12, the Salvation Army Angel
Hmm.
Tree program was basically the way that that her and her brother got gifts.
Yeah.
And she said, "This is my way of giving back, because I know my mom went
Hmm.
through the struggle." And she's like, every Christmas, there was not one Christmas where we didn't have gifts. And it was because someone out there gave back to us. And for
Hmm.
her, this meant everything, coming here and volunteering and working. But sadly, she won't be here today. She has a really big test. But
Okay. She
she's
got
here
to
in
see it
spirit.
though. She got to see it.
She
That's
did.
nice.
She did. She worked really hard to make sure that today goes smooth.
Well, I can't wait to
But
meet some
yeah.
more families today, and this is
Yeah.
just such a lovely thing that our community has helped accomplish. So, and this is just
I
the big
know.
day right here. So we're looking forward to more
This
stories,
is,
Izzy.
I know, like the captain says, this is the day.
It is. It is. Well, we'll be looking for your reports coming up later today on News 6. I can't wait to see all those smiling
Yep.
faces and happy tears.
Yep.
And thank you for the
I
behind the
know.
scenes preview this morning.
Of course. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm glad you guys got to get the sneak peek, and I'll see you guys at
Yes.
noon.
All right. Thanks, Izzy.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with some of the top stories. All right, and we're back. I have some top stories for you this morning. There was a very bad crash in Apopka overnight. This was breaking news. 3 people, including a police officer, were hurt. It was a wrong-way crash. Troopers say the driver was headed the wrong way on State Road 436 near Otter Lane around 1 a.m. The driver hit the front of the police cruiser, and the cruiser flipped over. The wrong-way driver went to the hospital in critical condition. The officer and another person were transported with minor injuries. So we'll keep you updated on that. And in other news, state lawmakers are considering a sweeping overhaul of our state's labor laws when it comes to child labor. Now, a new bill would allow some teens to work more hours with fewer restrictions. And so News 6's Treasure Roberts is explaining, though, why everyone is not happy about these proposed changes, including teenagers.
A Florida House subcommittee Wednesday passed a bill that would roll back teen labor rules. House Bill 49 removes current state law that says minors ages 16 and 17 can't work more than 30 hours a week when school is in session. The bill will allow them to work overnight and for more than 6 days a week. Republican Representative Linda Cheney from St. Pete Beach introduced the bill.
Nearly 1 million searches have been performed, quote, "How can I get a job as a teen?" They want to work. This bill gets government out of their way to choose the path that is best for them.
An 18-year-old who says he started working at 15 opposes the bill.
We do not want minors who go into high school working 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. How are they going to function at school? I know people who did that, working under the table, and they did not succeed in high school.
A 16-year-old worker agreed with Representative Cheney.
I feel like they should be given the freedom to choose what they want to take career-wise and their path.
House Democrats are concerned.
You think this bill will have an effect on the absentee rate in our schools now and our education of our children?
Low-income folks are going to be targeted because of this.
Felipe Salza-Lazabele, executive director of Hope Community Center, has the same concerns.
We know that black and brown kids are impacted by poverty in a disproportionate way and may be asked by their own families to be at work instead in school.
He says this is lawmakers' solution to problems caused by the immigration law passed back in May.
Many immigrants have left the state of Florida because of the anti-immigrant law. So what we have seen is a shortage of labor that has perpetuated our economy.
He says children shouldn't have to pick up the slack.
Instead of focusing on creating an inclusive state where people want to move here, work here, they're trying to make children do the work that they shouldn't be doing in the first place.
Another big story right now in the news, if you've been following this with toys and some of the dangers with some of the toys on the market, water beads are being pulled from stores. We've been reporting on this for a while now. I know that I had just started buying the water beads just last year before all of this uproar about some of the potential dangers emerged. So if you're not familiar, one of the major brands is Orbeez, but they go by many other names, but namely they're water beads. It's a type of small plastic pellet that expands after it's been soaked in water. They're also used in floral arrangements many times. You might see them also used in air fresheners where they're in the jar. And, you know, as the air freshener starts to dry out, those beads shrink. So that's where the problem comes in with these water beads. The warning is that, you know, they can pose a risk for very young children. So we'll explain. Target, Walmart, and Amazon have announced they're no longer selling water beads. And, you know, it could be on a Christmas wish list, so watch out for it. But it started after a federal watchdog said that they pose a threat to young kids. And here's what the Consumer Product Safety Commission is saying, that the tiny expanding beads can cause life-threatening intestinal blockages if digested. I even talked to a doctor about this several months back, and she explained how if children aspirate these beads, they can get into even say your lungs, and if you're very small, that can, you know, lead to infection, trouble breathing, and then, you know, you're getting into surgery and extractions and different things that have to happen. If it's a very small baby, like they said, the CPSC said, it can get into your digestive system. And if you're very small and something like this gets in there and it can expand so many hundreds of times its size, that can lead to blockages and surgeries. And there were more than 7,000 visits to the emergency room in 2016 through 2022 because of water beads. So unfortunately, you know, if your kids aren't big enough to safely play with those and you have them, it's best to get rid of them. I know that when I had a friend come over with smaller kids, I was very worried about maybe some of the small beads that might be around the house. So, you know, get rid of them. The major retailers are getting rid of them. Hopefully, you know, they can come up with a safer way to play with things like that, because they do have a sensory benefit to them when it comes to sensory sensitive play. Now, we want to take you inside Winter Wonderland, a well-known hangout to beat the heat in Central Florida. Has snow. I like to call it Florida snow. You'll see. We're talking about the Winter Wonderland at Waka Island in Longwood. And News 6 anchor insider guide Crystal Moyer takes us behind the scenes of a new addition to a festive fan favorite there.
So here at Waka Island, you guys have been doing the Winter Wonderland for 8 years now.
We have.
But this year we have something new.
We did. We added Santa's workshop upstairs here.
Ooh, let's check it out. I see presents everywhere.
Yes, the present wall. The elves have been busy wrapping presents. This is where they prepare the toys. Yesterday they were up here counting that they still needed to make 20,000 more dollhouses.
Wow.
Which numbers are big. We have wrapped 242 presents so far. We've hung 40,000 lights on the island, and we are so ready for Christmas.
What gives you the motivation to want to keep making it bigger every single year?
We are a small family-owned business, and community is very, very important to us, and we wanted to offer something to the Orlando area that any family can afford, and to celebrate Christmas here. And Santa's office is here in his workshop, and he often comes in and does work.
Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas.
This is Mrs. Claus's bakery. This is where she makes all the cookies for Santa and the elves.
Got the oven in here, you have a fireplace, it feels so homey.
Wekiva Island also offers a variety of events and outdoor activities like kayaking along the Wekiva River and beach volleyball, all in a festive setting that lights up at night with dozens of decked out Christmas trees and thousands of sparkling lights.
So what's a winter wonderland without some winter, right? Well, here at Wekiva Island, it snows daily and nightly.
Entry onto the island is $5, and you can find more information on Wekiva Island's Winter Wonderland at clickorlando.com/insider. In Seminole County, Crystal Moyer, Getting Results, News 6.
All right, and if you want to check out the interactive map for lights around Central Florida, also head over to the Insider page on clickorlando.com. That's going to wrap it up for Breakfast with Bridgett. Straight ahead, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas with a look at current conditions as well as weather stories. We'll see you back here at 7:30 tomorrow. Make it a great day.